All right, we are live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show, UFC 295, 30th anniversary of the UFC edition, presented by Monaco. If you're looking at the table right now and you're saying something looks different about that Monaco, you'd be right. This morning we had Chris Weidman and Anthony Smith in, and they broke right into that Kentucky coffee, that coffee-flavored whiskey, and they both loved it. We'll put out the video. They were, I think, stunned by how good it was, how smooth it was
at the end of
the
video. The interview, which you can check out right now on the Spinning Backfist channel.
Make sure to check it out.
Audio or on, sorry, I'm looking at Johnny Drama in the chat, or on YouTube. You will see at the end, I kept it in, Anthony Smith take the shot and say, this is some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Can you send me some? So we're going to have to hit up Monaco and say, hey, Monaco, we told Anthony Smith.
Yeah, we'll send him that video.
Well, we told Anthony Smith we're going to send him some Kentucky whiskey. You got to do that, because if not, we don't want Anthony Smith on our bad side.
No,
definitely not.
Definitely not. Check out that interview too. Again, presented by Monaco, and a great time. Great conversation with two legit amazing fighters, like two people that have been to the top. Chris Weidman, literally a former champ, and Anthony Smith, a title contender in his past. Two guys without like egos, just like cool down to earth.
I thought we hit it with just good vibes.
Yeah,
laughs,
great vibes this morning.
Some good fight talk, some good laughs.
And then this afternoon, we interviewed Matt Frivola, the Steamroller, which will be up tomorrow on the channel, fighting at UFC 295. We'll obviously break down his fight against Benoit Saint Denis on this card, or on this Spinnin Backfist show. But two great interviews. If you like to watch these three dopes break down MMA, you'll definitely like those interviews, because you have some people that have actually stepped inside the octagon breaking it down. Even the way that Anthony Smith and Chris Weidman like broke down a couple fights on this card, it's like they could snap right into like analyst talk.
Oh yeah.
I will say, I didn't tell you, I wanted to tell you guys this on live. I think it was Weidman, or I think it was Anthony. He said, when I shook his hand, I was like, oh, thanks for spending time with us. He said, you guys know your stuff.
I was actually going to say that. He said that to me as well.
So that was like almost like a ball kind of thing. Yeah, obviously we're not.
Anthony Smith, I said, I know ball.
Yeah, so you can't say we're
you can't say I don't know ball unless you can fuck up Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
That's a fact. You know what he
said
to
unless
me?
He says it to you personally.
We showed him around the office, and I said to Jack, when it was just like me and Anthony Smith, like walked a few feet ahead of the group, he was like, hey, I got to tell you, I hope you don't take this as an insult, but like going from your cringy videos early to right now, he's like, you're like a real guy now. I was like, oh, I appreciate that. I think he was talking about like the McGregor videos early on. He called them cringy, but I'll take it. He meant it as a compliment.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that from his perspective, just kind of like
I was like
in like his mind, it's
just
like
a
you
troll
going from like
fighter,
to like
super
fanboy,
fan.
to
just
like
I could chop it up with the guys, be normal. I took that as a compliment. I thought that was
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
He really liked the Kentucky coffee. So
that was like one sip.
Yeah.
So
he put a little dent in it.
He did. Yeah,
definitely go. Well, he's a big guy. Yeah.
For sure.
So get some Kentucky coffee for this weekend, or just Monaco in general.
Yeah, get the vodka hard lemonade, get the gluten-free vodka. You could get the tequila. Obviously, they get the watermelon and the normal
Jesse Adams, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, well, Jesse Adams, we'll talk about Lee going against the
family. That was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I didn't even respond because I didn't want Steamroller to
see
it.
It's a crazy move.
Or Cheese Roller, and then not come in.
If the Cheese Roller sees it, he'll bite back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how the whole relationship started with this Frivola in the first place. I scored a fight against him, and Cheese Roller came after me. It was the Violent Bob Ross fight way back in the day. I think that was Frivola's first fight at MSG, I want to say. But this card, this weekend, MSG card, once again, packed. Obviously, we lost in the main event, but they really did a good job of making it a good enough card where even though we lose the biggest fight on it, things are still looking good.
It lost a lot of name brand value.
Yes.
But I feel like it might have even added excitement value, which has kind of been what we've seen.
If you're a diehard MMA fan, which you likely are if you're watching the Spinnin Backfist MMA show, you know that this card is going to be sick. This card on paper is amazing. Hopefully better than last weekend's card, which we thought was going to be good on paper. Not like this, but that one trickled off very quickly.
If you look at like going from the early prelims, it's bang. Like the matchups are bangers.
Yeah.
Early prelims, I'm legitimately excited for.
No, yeah, everything about this is violence. This is just a violent card, and from top to bottom. And I'm excited.
Wasn't last New York card the most? It was like the most finishes on a pay-per-view ever.
I think so. Yeah.
Because I remember we were all there. And it was really just not like finish after finish.
Izzy. Ryan Spann, Favola,
Poirier over
Poirier.
Chandler.
But he got the submission.
There was a bunch. Earl Olberg.
What's her name?
Had a big
Zhang.
Yeah.
Zhang against
Zhang
Was
the sub.
Was Ian Gary on that card or no?
That was the
card previous.
that was
MSG card.
the one before that. He made his debut.
And then obviously,
That's right.
Molly fought.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
But that was
about. Molly just got back on track in a grappling tournament.
Yeah,
she
got an armbar.
I think she posted the video. She saw her picture. She signed her contract for what's going to be her strawweight debut.
Yeah.
We don't opponent unknown yet, but
opponent unknown. I did see her fiance posted on Instagram like, "Oh, great, we're going to be sneaking eating food around her during Christmas." Like they're all going to have to sneak it. So it's probably
so
soon after.
January
Probably
or,
January. Yeah. That's not inside info, or that's all speculation. But obviously, we'll be in Molly and Patty's corner. Also, congrats to Patty the Batty, going to be a father of 2.
Yeah, twins.
Twins on the way next year. That's something extra to think about in this fight camp. He's fighting for two little boys, maybe sparring partners. Boys or girls? Do we know? Did he post?
I don't know if he said.
Sparring partners, regardless.
Yeah, congrats to them. Congrats to the whole squad.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal. I saw that on Instagram last night.
Love to see that. Love that the Batty family's growing. We should get into 295 though, because we got a lot of fights to break down. 13. We've got 4 on the early prelims, 4 on the regular prelims, and 5 on the main card, of course. We did post on Spinning Backfist, and you sent it to the group chat. Just an unreal clip of Mackenzie Dern this morning being included in the what are the hardest words in English for you to pronounce.
So it was Pereira.
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah,
she grew up in Arizona.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. No, including Mackenzie Dern in that. So that was my first. You know how you'll wake up, you'll be kind of tired, and you'll scroll Instagram. First thing I saw was that. And I was Pereira. I was like, "Oh, this is funny. It's always good." But and then it goes Pavlovich. Then I think after him it was Lopez.
Yep.
And then Mackenzie Dern,
native English speaker.
And I legitimately was like, "Oh, maybe they'll have other English speakers after her." No, and then I went to the comments and immediately looked to see if am I going crazy?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was not. I don't know if that was a troll from Nina. Or she actually just didn't.
I have no idea. I've never met her. I don't have a gauge of whether or not she's like, but I think she is kind of in like MMA Twitter world in terms of, I think Nina, I'm talking about, I think like she knows the Strickland bit, obviously.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's probably some people she works with at the UFC that maybe be like, all right, do this, lean in a little bit, because we have seen her. Obviously, she had the jokes with Hamzat.
Smash pass. That was funny.
That
was a good video.
That was almost like you're not getting that at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, it's risky to do with Hamzat, but it's so funny. Everyone just goes smash. That was good.
And he's like, lots of money.
Yeah. Let's talk about this card though.
It's like, imagine money I fight all these guys.
Yeah,
he was like,
all the money.
20, that's 7 fights. 20 million.
We kick things off on the MSG card with someone that the Steamroller was actually talking to us about, Mr. Bazooka, Denis Bazooka. Denis out of Strong Island. He fights out of that Strong Island camp.
He's Albanian.
Albanian guy fighting Jamal Emmers. Another one where like great fight to kick the entire card off.
I was at Emmers' last fight. He fought twice in like a week and a half.
Oh, that's right.
He fought
on the
Mario
O'Malley
Batista.
card, right?
He was so impressive.
Yeah.
But I think very highly of Mario Batista. And they had a very close fight.
Yeah.
Very close fight.
Him and Emmers?
And Emmers had fought like a week before that.
And Emmers.
2 weeks, something
Emmers?
like that.
I don't see Batista on his record.
Am I thinking of the wrong? Did he fight someone else?
Last fight for Emmers was Jack Jenkins.
And he lost.
Yeah. The one before that was Ashkabov. The one before that was Pat Sabatini.
Who did I just mix him up with then? I'm a fool.
Van.
No. Who did Batista just fight? Oh, Devon Blackshear. That's better.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Blackshear. That's who I was thinking of. Okay.
Shout out Lee.
I gotta
Jake in the chat.
Rewind my brain for a second.
Harrison there.
I don't know why I thought that for some reason. I had like a brain fart.
I mean, there's a lot of fighters on the roster. It's easy to do. I mix up.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Emmers got robbed versus Jenkins he did I mean,
And you
He did look
saying
good.
that,
The
I did.
parallel, he did look good. I know he
I
looked good
pictured
in his last
Emmers
fight
in
he
that
lost.
fight.
I was like, all right.
and I would say I thought Emmers won that fight against Jenkins. I was surprised he didn't get that decision. I understand why they gave it to Jenkins, but it was one of those where everybody thought Emmers won. I don't know if I'm going to call it a robbery. He just didn't do enough to win. He did, though, in my opinion. Bazooka, there's just no I want to root for him. I want to be on the side of Ray Longo, whatnot. There's just nothing he does amazingly well, if that makes any sense. He doesn't have, it's not like his striking's amazing. It's not like his ground game's amazing. Woodson kind of, I know it was late notice, but Woodson just kind of pieced him up. I think Emmers is going to do the same.
Yeah, he did like decent in the Woodson fight, but it felt like there was, like you said, he took it on short notice. That was tough. It felt like there were moments where he had openings and just kind of like didn't take them.
Yeah.
If I remember, because Woodson, because even he, at times he had Woodson, like Woodson's hittable.
Yeah.
Woodson's obviously huge. He's so tall and long for the division, but Bazooka's not like, he's pretty big for a featherweight.
Yeah,
well.
no, Bazooka,
he's pretty big. He's pretty like tall, long.
Emmers is a big guy too.
Woodson's just like insanely long.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
freak. Like
Emmers or Woodson just got booked with Jourdain.
Yeah,
it's a good fight.
Billy Q tweeted this out, so this isn't even him telling us this. He was in here with Frivola, but he wanted Jourdain next, which would have been a sick fight.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't know who's next for him, but he's definitely. I mean, we'll see him again soon. He's coming.
I would think he would know like soon.
Yeah. He'll be in the Steamrollers corner this weekend. Next fight on the card is Joshua Van versus Kevin Borjas. Borjas?
Yeah, Borjas.
Borjas.
Contender Series guy from this past season.
Who did he fight on the
Borjas
Contender
was.
Series? Because that name sounds so familiar.
He got like a close win. I remember it was like a pretty close fight. He was in like a good competitive scrap.
Oh yeah, because I remember seeing him and being like, oh yeah, he doesn't look like a fighter. Like he just looks like he's one of those guys who, if he's not in fight gear, he just looks normal.
Yep.
Do you like him?
I do, but not. Van had a really good fight against
who was it against?
the two wife king.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the two wife.
I think
Zumagulov?
I think so. I think that's who he fought. I think that's who he made his debut.
Yeah.
against.
You're second guessing yourself now, but
Josh
it
Van,
was
yes, yeah, I am.
Zumagulov.
Boy, yeah, he had a good fight. It was a competitive fight.
Boras is scrappy.
I just think Van's probably a little better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just lay minus like 2. I think he's like 230, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would lay that juice on him because Boras is. I could see it just getting into one of those like they're just trading in the pocket, kind of anything can happen kind of thing. But yeah, I think I'm pick Van to win.
Yeah, Van was supposed to be on Dana White's, but he stepped up to fight Zumagulov.
That's right. Yeah,
not Zumagulov or somebody else. And then, wait, weren't these two supposed to fight on Contender Series? I think they were.
They might have been.
And then
No, but they're. I'm not sure.
I don't know if that lines up time wise for like when Joshua Van was on Contender Series, because he was on a while ago, right?
See, I do remember like Jake Greenberg said he wasn't. I remember he was on short notice against Zumagulov. Was Van the one who there was somebody who there was supposed to fight
Van
in there?
was this year, October 8th.
Because
Yeah.
there was somebody. It might not have
August.
been either of them. There was somebody who their opponent like missed weight.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Bout canceled prior to the event.
Oh, so
Van
it
signed
was
to
Josh
UFC.
Van.
Yeah,
His opponent missed weight, and then they just gave him the shot.
100% right. Yeah.
uh,
At the time, it was 92% Van on Tapology predictions.
Okay.
I don't love laying the juice on Van. I feel like he can make it a fight. I don't know if I'm going to take him, but this would be if I was forced to make a fight or make a bet here. My first underdog play of the night.
Okay. Then we've got John Castaneda versus Kang Kyung Ho in the bantamweight division. I'll pull up the odds too, so I could try to read some of
This
these.
is around
off for
minus
you.
140.
Yeah. Kang's the underdog.
I don't have the best read on this fight. I hate to say I'm just punting. Maybe I'll try to find something here, but this is probably the fight I'm least excited for on the whole card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of agree with
the
you.
most exciting matchup.
I
but it's close.
don't really have a feel for it. Like I think it's kind of like a coin flip.
Yeah.
So maybe like a just dog play based on the coin flip, getting the dog money. But I think it's a very close fight. Pretty like evenly matched fight.
Yeah, I'm with Lee. I agree with Lee on Boris from the last fight. Plus 200 seems a little bit wide.
Yeah.
And then on the early prelim headliner, if you even want to refer to it like that, we've got Jared Gordon versus Mark Madsen.
This is an interesting fight.
Kind of similar in terms of like trajectories for them. Like Mark Madsen and Jared Gordon are.
I'm a
just
little
on
nervous.
that like line, like that next.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous for Jared Gordon. I mean, he tried to come back so quick after that incidental headbutt by Bobby Green, and after that he came back and then he wasn't cleared, and hopefully he is 100% healthy now. But I don't know. Madsen always leaves things to be desired, though. Obviously, he was a silver medalist or maybe bronze,
something like that. Yeah, in the Olympics.
And then
maybe silver.
And then he ended up starting his MMA career undefeated, but it was almost fool's gold undefeated.
Yeah. He never fought anybody.
Yeah, and then I think Malott finished that, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
in his last fight. That's the only fight he's lost.
So I could see Madsen. I think Gordon is obviously better on the feet, but I could see Madsen even at points like his cardio goes. So
yeah,
I prefer Madsen in terms of odds here, but
yeah, I would too. It's another kind of one where like if you made me like just pick the fight, like I think Gordon's a better fighter.
Yeah,
all around.
Yeah,
I think his strikings look better. I mean, it looked better in the Patty fight. I agree with that. Johnny Drama said like he was fighting very well in the Bobby Green fight.
Yes,
like his striking, which Bobby Green you would think would be a better striker. Gordon was doing well. He was landing the left in both fights, in the Patty fight too, a lot. Yeah, I probably not gonna bet. I would pick Jared to win, but it's like the laying minus like 180, 190. Not crazy about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd probably just lean an underdog in that fight, just like
Madsen by
just
decision
because.
from Dakuchi bets is a decent look.
Yeah,
Fight to go the distance
Madsen
on this
has
one.
no like. I mean, he's not a finisher really.
Yeah,
And if he finished Gordon, I'd be very surprised.
yeah, I agree.
Gordon's a
I think
pretty tough
someone
guy.
in the chat said fight to go the distance in this one.
Yeah, I don't hate
Maybe
that.
above that. Yeah.
I almost feel like it'd be juiced.
Yeah, it probably would be. Then we've got Borshev versus Nazim. Two hard names to pronounce. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
This is the first.
Sadaka. He's the guy Frivola said. He's really good. I think he's good.
Apparently, Frivola's like main sparring partner. Kind of sounded like, yeah.
This is the first fight I'm like really intrigued by.
I love Nazim in this fight.
Yeah, me too.
Love him. Like I don't understand why the odds are so close.
And Slavikov,
He's like a slight favorite. Nazim?
I think he should be like at least like 150 or more.
And he's like 120. Is that about
Borshev
right?
is a phenomenal kickboxer.
Mhm.
He literally teaches at like alpha male
Yeah.
kickboxing, but his ground game, he doesn't really have it. I think Nazim, he can strike. He's more well-rounded. Like I think he's going to choke him out. I think that'd be his path to victory. I think he can do it.
and I will say, Nazim showed some serious toughness by surviving Terrence, getting it into the second round, and then finishing him in the second round. I think it was right.
Yeah.
And that was. So this is from Lee. Nazim doesn't wrestle enough offensively that I love.
I wonder if that changes in this fight.
If
I could
Nazim-
see this
That's
matchup.
I think
like,
with Slava, I think he can.
Yeah.
I think it's like I feel like it's something maybe he hasn't done because he hasn't really needed to,
with the.
or it hasn't really been like the path.
I brought this up in the Frivola interview. They made a video. Frivola put it out of him, Frivola and Nazim are sparring, and it seemed as if Nazim was, and it makes sense. Frivola told us that he was expecting some takedowns from Saint Denis. Nazim was shooting takedowns in that video, so if those two game plans kind of coexist, that would make sense based on that video. We saw Nazim shoot on Frivola in that video. I'm not saying you should look too much into one social video, of course not, but that could change in this one a little bit.
That's like a route to like a very realistic route to victory. I would imagine that is like a big part of the game plan.
Oh yeah, Sean Strickland is going at the Nelk boys.
He is. I saw that about
Even
happy dad, and you're marketing towards dads, but you're a bunch of young boys.
Yeah, he's
Well, pretty much like you just spread filth. Like he's just like there, which I'm not shocked by it, even though I actually loved it when he was on their podcast.
It's interesting. Like
I thought it was just funny, like the contrast.
It is
of
interesting
them.
that he said like you spread filth, but then he'll like go and talk like he talks. Like, does he think he spreads filth too?
you are right. Playing the moral high ground as Sean Strickland there
like,
is
what do you
like,
mean,
come on,
like
bro.
filth? Like,
I think
you're
he's
not
saying-
above that.
He
like-
was just saying like they're put like he's like you're like catering to dads, but they're all just like 25-year-old dudes who don't have kids,
And
Which that's
wives, anything
He-
like.
Strickland's point of view is, hey, like, yeah, I may talk in a brash way, but I'm trying to have men be men and whatnot. When the Nelk boys, and I'm not saying the Nelk boys do this. This is more what Strickland's
what he's trying
saying.
to say, yeah.
Is they spread degeneracy, you know, get drunk, hook up with chicks, yada yada yada. When Strickland's like, go to the gun range, fight, and then come home to your girlfriend and save Canada and Australia.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he's coming from. I get the point of view, but also that's such a slippery slope.
I like that Strickland's just in bed at night being like, those fucking Nelk boys aren't men. What the fuck? I got to tweet about this.
And then it was funny. The video of him and Sneeko went viral again. And it was so funny. It was at the slap event, and Sneeko goes up and asks for advice. And Strickland's first thing was, "Who are you? Do you train?"
But yeah, we're on Nazim in that fight. We're on Nas.
Yeah,
I feel like very strongly about him.
Then we've got another lightweight fight between Rebecca and Roosevelt Roberts.
Roosevelt
What's the odds on this
Roberts
one?
taking it on late
no-
notice.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Rose!
He's
I
back.
was gonna say what what are the odds? Maybe like Roosevelt's like worth a little sprinkle. He is if you like him at plus 520.
It's
I mean, it's a tough fight for him.
is that a little wide?
Yes, I think it is.
I think so a little bit.
520 is maybe
Like
worth a
Rebecca's
sprinkle.
good, but
I like
mean,
Rebecca
like,
completely.
he's a good fighter.
I expected to
absolutely
see
should be-
Roosevelt like plus
He
350.
absolutely should be a significant favorite. Plus, like minus 700 is a lot.
And I always, but one of the first guys that I learned a lot about MMA betting through is Roosevelt Roberts,
Really?
because I thought he was so good, and he was a minus 250 in a fight, just parlay he's gonna be fine.
Mhm.
And then he just kept he would lose, he would bust my parlays, and I learned a lot based off of losing on him. But every time he fought, I would bet him.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I bet him. I laid minus like 200 on him in that Ignacio Spamundas fight,
Me
which is
too.
now one of the more common highlight reel knockouts
Yeah.
you'll see in MMA.
Spinning
period.
wheel kick. Yeah.
Like forever. Forever.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, like minus
You get
200.
reminded.
Like,
Yeah.
and it was at the very end of a fight that he got dominated in.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he got like Leon caught at the end. Like
Just
he was
the exclamation
he was losing
point.
from start to finish and then got decapitated at the end. And that was the end of his like he got knocked out. That was the end.
And
of
then
his UFC
Ignacio
run.
let us down last fight.
Yeah, he did. He looked bad. I bet
Yeah.
on that one as well. Yeah.
I mean, credit to Roosevelt Roberts for taking this fight. Again, if you like him at plus 520, worth a sprinkle. I think Roberts is
You know what?
underrated.
Hot Billy being a Roosevelt Roberts guy
Yeah.
too is
Underrated.
perfect. We're Roosevelt Roberts.
Yeah.
We're
I like-
all-
I actually do like watching
One
him
of these,
fight.
one of these little, just a little one of these, nothing crazy.
But yeah.
He could have a any given Saturday moment.
Imagine.
Hot
Let's
Billy.
go, Hot Billy.
Hot Billy's a
Hot
funny
Billy,
guy.
just one of the best chat
When-
guys of all time.
If Roosevelt, don't say Hot Billy didn't tell you so. When Roosevelt Roberts has his hand raised at the end of the fight.
Vince is on Roberts. This might be the pick of the chat tonight. Just Roosevelt Roberts.
When
He's the
I
hungry
saw
dog who
that
runs
he got
faster.
the fight, I don't know why, but my parents were like, "Oh, it's UFC 296," and then I read the tweet 4 times, and I kept saying 295, 295, 295. And I was like, "Oh, Roosevelt Roberts fighting this week."
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
Roberts.
Yeah.
Loopy is also fighting this weekend. Our girl Loopy.
Okay, so this fight's interesting.
Yeah, her against Tabitha Ritchie.
I like Loopy,
Okay, so
but I don't love Loopy, but I like Loopy in this.
so
fight.
many people love Loopy here.
She's like minus 170, it appears.
Yeah, I
Around
was
there,
saying like
yeah.
180ish. Yeah.
So
I think I kind of like Tabitha.
I don't know if Tabitha, our baby shark, can just kind of spam takedowns kind of thing. The only thing is if it's on the feet, Loopy will probably, piece her up.
And she has
Yeah.
like pretty good. Our ground game is not bad.
Isn't Loopy? Loopy comes from the family that has like 3 female wrestlers, right?
I think. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen her use a lot of like grappling in her.
Yeah,
her
so
fights.
that's why it's like,
I kind of feel like she has her covered here.
yeah, baby shark. That is true. We have to factor in that she's dating Callum Walsh
She is.
I've,
Who's fighting this
Fair.
weekend? I think
tonight.
Tonight.
yeah, tonight.
So if she's getting boxing lessons from Callum, Tabitha is the one. I'm going to the weigh-ins tomorrow. Definitely gonna. Lee took a video of her when at weigh-ins last time, and it went like
Super viral.
super viral on her.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely.
People
but
love
we have-
Baby Shark.
We have the two. We have the two weighing queens on this card.
True. Later on, you got Mackenzie Dern.
No, I was talking Jessica and Josh, but
Oh,
no kidding. But no, Mackenzie Dern.
Then Steve Urkeg versus Alessandro Costa in the flyweight prelim.
So
headline.
Steve Ersig's a nice little.
What a spot for him.
You want to talk about a guy just like Van? Not Van, the other guy.
Borjas
does not look like a fighter.
Yeah, no.
Steve Erceg looks like he's
Looks
just
like a dude.
A dude, yeah. But he's from down under, right?
Yeah, he is Australia.
He had
He's
a big
like
win his
-200
last
in
fight
this.
Yeah,
as a
In
big
his
underdog
debut.
in his debut.
he beat Dvorak, right?
Yeah.
He was number 10. Like, just jumped right. Yeah, he's Astro Boy.
The
That's
Astro
right,
Boy.
Astro Boy.
It's a great nickname.
He looked really good in that fight. Alessandro Costa is pretty damn good, though.
I know.
He throws hammers too.
Erceg,
I think it's an interesting. I feel like Erceg should be more well-rounded, but Costa's interesting.
so I think Erceg's being
How's
way overpriced.
Costa on the ground?
Oh, like Costa is not. That's I to me this is like a dog or pass
Yeah, I'm with you there.
because like Erceg looks so good. It's almost like I thought he'd be a bigger favorite, but then once it was Costa, I was intrigued because he just hits hard.
I thought this
He's
was
not good on the ground. I think Astro Boy can get him down and submit him probably.
I was
I think he's
so
got
intrigued.
6 or 7 submissions.
I was so thinking this fight would be -120, -130 Erceg. It's a big line.
I mean, beating Dvorak in your debut is going to go a long way for you. Like,
He's got
or for just for the
6
bettors.
submission wins, 1 knockout.
Like, because I think Costa, if Costa can keep this on the feet, like I think he'll land the more like damaging shots.
Yeah. Costa by finish, Alex says in the chat. I mean, if you like him that much. And yeah. We don't know what Astro Boy's chin is like.
We haven't seen it, so we just saw the one fight against
Yeah.
Dvorak, which he performed incredibly well.
How did the Chael and Masvidal beef start? Hot Billy wants to know. I don't know. I don't know how the actual start. I think Masvidal took a shot at Chael first.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure how it all started, to be honest.
Anyone know why the press conference that's on right now is only media, no fans? Is the Walsh fight where they normally do the presser at MSG? Yes, it is. So they could easily get another venue for the presser. They could. They did one of the last pressers for last year at Radio City Music Hall and stuff, but it is kind of strange that they did that.
That's
Yeah.
weird to do it in New York with no fan.
Yeah.
I almost think they've been worried because I know the chat was talking about it earlier in the episode, like how much has changed when John Jones got hurt. The ticket prices
Yeah.
dropped
Which
significantly.
is great for fans. Yeah.
significantly. But it sucked for if you had already bought a ticket.
Yeah.
You kind of got fucked.
You did.
You paid premium and you paid for a fight that
You
you
paid
didn't
John
get.
Jones price. For
Yeah, and then you
Alex
yeah,
Pereira
for sure.
headline, Yeah.
Especially in the Garden.
Yeah.
John Jones and people thinking it's. I mean, you got
Like
people
John
thinking
Jones
it's
in
his,
New York.
his
Like,
potential retirement fight.
yeah. And
Gonna see-
Stipe's
basically see-
retirement fight.
Potentially see the GOAT's last fight in,
Yeah.
in the Garden. That's a
the
hot
GOAT
ticket.
and the arguable heavyweight GOAT. Like, yeah. Then on to the main card, Diego Lopez.
Before we get to the main card,
Oh, yeah.
we actually do have a new sponsor today.
Shout out. new sponsor.
Morgan and Morgan. We know them. They're
Mm.
on the court in, I
In
think,
Chicago.
in Chicago.
Yeah.
They're
also,
also
in the Octagon.
in the Octagon. Have you heard of Morgan and Morgan before? If
course.
not, then you probably didn't know that Morgan Morgan is America's largest injury firm with over $15 billion recovered for over 300,000 clients. They have a proven track record of fighting for the people for more than 35. That's right, fighting. And here's the thing: you just said it. They're in the Octagon. That's
Yeah.
because they are the official injury law firm partner of the UFC. UFC 296
Love
in
that.
December is coming up. And thanks to Morgan & Morgan, you can win tickets to the action, whether it's legal battles or Octagon battles. Morgan & Morgan's got you covered. They're giving one lucky winner $2,000 and 2 tickets to see Edwards versus Covington go to battle in Las Vegas. Entering to win is easy. Just go to morganufc.com/spinning. That's morganufc.com/spinning for your chance
With
to
a
win.
G at the end or no?
No G at the end. The link
Like our
is
name.
the link is currently, if you're watching live, in the bio.
Perfect.
And there's also in the bio, or not in the bio, in the description. If you're listening or watching after, it's in the description. The link's there, everything.
Go apply right now. That's like, you want tickets to 296. That's like an amazing card. No brainer.
No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of 48 contiguous United States and D.C. who are 18 plus. Sweepstake ends November 20th, 2023. For entry and official rules, visit morganufc296.com. So I'm going to say that again. For entry and official rules, visit morganufc296.com. Look, they say .sweep.p.com.
That is confusing. .sweep.p.com is weird.
Okay.
But the link is in our bio.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. If you're listening to this on the audio feed, go to the YouTube feed and click on it in the bio. You could win free tickets to 296. It's not like you don't got to buy anything. You don't got to do anything. I think you have a decent shot of winning too. Everyone in the chat. If
I see it now.
The sweepstakes right
Morgan UFC296.sweep.p.com. That's if you want to see the official rules.
Okay.
And for entry.
So there you go. Click on the link in our bio. Maybe you'll be at UFC 296 on the boys, on Morgan and Morgan. That would be really nice.
Sorry for the confusion there, folks.
Now let's get into the main card. Featherweight division, Diego Lopez versus Pat Sabatini. This is a hell of a fight. Everyone loves Diego Lopez. He's got the hair. How do we feel about it?
I'm a Lopez believer.
Yeah?
I think he's the real deal. I think he was on a Contender Series. He lost a really close fight. So I believe it was Joe Anderson Brito, who's been like exceptional in the UFC.
Yes.
And then he had the crazy close fight with Evlov,
which was amazing.
in Newark, which is incredible.
Had
a big win after that since then.
Yeah.
Submission win. I think Lopez. Give me Lopez here
against Gavin Tucker. That's right. Yeah.
I think Lopez is a legit guy.
And what are his odds? Do you know?
I believe he's a slight.
Oh, he's like plus 100. It looks like.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was like a slight dog.
Sabatini's good too, though.
Sabatini is good. Sabatini is no slouch. I think this is a close fight.
I think I'd lean Sabatini, but like I wouldn't be surprised if Lopez after the last fight with Lopez, obviously couldn't be surprised.
No, I just think he's legit. Like I think he's just a guy that let's look at Sabatini's last I just want to see his last fight.
It was Lucas Almeida.
That's right. Okay.
And he beat him with a arm triangle. Before that, he lost to Damon Jackson.
You got knocked out.
Yeah.
This is tough because they both have very good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see who has the edge there, or if it just kind of becomes a wash and a fight on the feet.
Yeah.
But I like Lopez.
I think I'm with Lee here with Sabatini. I think Sabatini, thanks to obviously he kind of covers the jiu-jitsu. I also think he'll be able to get the takedown, prevent takedowns from Lopez. I know Ev, as he pointed out, is a believer of Sabatini, of Lopez. So I get why people are on Lopez, but I'll be on Sabatini here. Pride of Philly.
Yeah.
I want to say Lee. I respect Lee's his sport acumen, but also like you said, Sabatini, a Philly guy like himself, trains out of that. Just for a note, Lee, I love you. It's a fair point because I could see a world where he gets the takedowns and then Diego Lopez just chasing submissions off his back and he's kind of just not able to get it. Like Sabatini's very smart grappler. I could see him avoiding that, so I could see that happening for sure. But I also could see Lopez if he is able to keep on the feet. I think he will be better there. I don't love Sabatini's striking.
Yeah,
that's kind of why I like Lopez. And what I like about Lopez is Lopez will go after it. Like if Sabatini does get those takedowns, Lopez he'll be chasing submissions the entire time. Head triangles, like he'll go after it. Yeah, so I do think it's a very competitive fight though. Like I said, Sabatini is good.
And then speaking of competitive fights, maybe the fight of the night we've been saying, Our guy Matt Frivola, the steamroller, taking on Benoit Saint Denis. Two veterans, French Special Forces, I believe, and United States military going head to head. They wanted the special shorts. They didn't get the special shorts, but they got the special treatment on the now you don't know, or you don't know, now you know on Dana White. We're in Matt Frivola's corner, obviously. Our guy Lee isn't.
Yeah, Lee's
the
just
family.
Lee goes against the family. He just loves Benoit Saint Denis.
And I love Benoit Saint Denis, but not against the Steamroller. Steamroller's my guy.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Benoit Saint Denis.
KO round 1.
He's made this podcast a lot of money.
Yeah.
But guess what? So is the Steamroller.
He has.
And the Steamroller, I read the DM months ago. I said the Steamroller today when we interviewed him. We watched that fight with Moises. That chin of Benoit Saint Denis was left out quite a bit. You cannot do that to the Steamroller because he throws bricks. He will plant his back foot.
You did not bet the
knock
over.
you
You
out.
bet Benoit Saint Denis by submission.
And Benoit Saint Denis slight round 3.
So you want him to win in the round 3?
Yes, you want him to win.
You're gonna want Steamroller to get finished. That's what you're rooting for.
In
the
round
third
3.
Steamroller KO.
Hot Billy says nobody loves the spotlight more than the steamroller. That's true based on his last couple fights. Big underdog and everything, and he came in, knocked out Drew Dober.
They've all been they're all pay-per-view cards too.
Oh, is that true? His last 3 fights
Yeah.
have all been numbered
I mean
cards?
that was
MSG.
It was Newark, which is they were the feature prelim.
Yep.
And then he was on a prelim, but he still was it was MSG last year.
Yeah.
When he took Ottoman 0.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Both
when you were in
significant
Mexico,
dogs.
we had Leon.
Oh yeah.
You would have thought he was in an 8th world country with his Wi-Fi. It was unbelievable. We were like, we'd love to have you on. Like, come on. And then his Wi-Fi was just, he was battling. And then he's like, when I come on again, I'll do it from the school. But yeah.
I will just with Harrison. Harrison, obviously, like we said, we've been very complimentary of Benoit Saint Denis. I think the Steamroller is more well-rounded than he's gotten to show because the power just landed early.
Yeah.
Like I think we've seen. I mean, he had, like I think it was maybe his first fight in UFC or maybe it was his second one. Like he had a really close fight with Sarukian.
Yeah.
Where they were like very like Sarukian won the fight, but having like legit in the grappling exchanges were like very competitive. Like he can grapple and do jiu-jitsu. He's not just some like brawler.
Yeah.
He was even talking about like early. It really wasn't until these last few fights that he started just knocking people out. He was having a lot of decisions and like good fights. Like the Lando Venata fight was like a war.
Great fight.
And then, and obviously like basically since the McKinney misstep, like he's been on fire. Something's clearly clicked. And I even just like knowing him obviously, but I genuinely believe in him. Like from what I've seen with Benoit, I really believe he can do it.
Yeah.
From that, Lee, are you friends with Tyler from Spartanburg? That chin's out there. That KO round 1 line is very enticing. I think I'm going to sprinkle on there, and then I'll have Frivola straight too, just because you can't miss out on him. I think he's going to be able to, he's going to do it. And it's going to be electric. And
dude, if he knocks out, that's going to be
Place is going to go crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
And if he does that, he's going to get a fucking huge next fight.
Oh my
Patty,
God.
he'll get Patty,
huge.
I think.
But if I'm in, this is no disrespect to Patty. If he knocks out Benoit, dude, go. I think he should be going
for rankings over name.
He's on a title.
Like I'm talking, he's like gonna get fucking like. It's tough right now because I don't know the availability and all that. It's like interesting, but it's gonna be.
You knock out Benoit, you're thinking,
dude. He should be getting legitimately even maybe the winner of like Dan Hooker, Bobby Green.
Yeah.
Like somebody, I really believe he should get somebody like that if he knocks out Benoit. Yeah, MPI literally said it. I think we said it at the same time.
Winner,
like the winner of Hooker Green, and that fight's on that. Like, that's where he should be looking.
Do you think Frivola we should have asked him that? Do you think he would want the winner of that more than Patty?
The only reason I would thought about it, I didn't ask him because he has such a big fight right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, like who are you
What's
looking
next?
to after?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's got a huge fight coming up, obviously. But
how old is Matt?
Like 32, 33.
Yeah.
So it's his prime is
he's
like
prime right now.
He's right now. It's
These
like
next few years are like
huge. Like, go for it. Like I'm a momentumous win, like a Benoit Saint Denis knockout. Go for it, man. Like go for the belt.
I low-key think let's say, God forbid, he loses. I think a fight with like let's say, I guess if Patty wins this, they're gonna want to try to give him a ranked opponent probably after this. But but a fight, like let's say it was a close win for Benoit, whatnot. A fight with Frevola would still make a lot of sense.
Honestly,
for UFC.
Honestly, even they're saying hypothetically if he lost, like then even still, if it was like a banger fight, the loser of that fight.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like Bobby Green.
100%.
Like a Bobby Green Frevola fight would be awesome. People would love that.
That could main event a fight night.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Absolutely.
UBS.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be really awesome. Then we've got Mackenzie Dern versus Jessica Andrade. What are the odds on this one? Because this is an interesting fight. Mackenzie Dern's minus 200.
Am I wrong to?
I think I'm on
like
Andrade.
Andrade like has not. She's the only thing is Andrade, since she got that 7-fight contract for she just almost she's like, I'll go in there and just fight, and then like I lose.
She hasn't had that like same like I'm gonna dump Rose on her head energy.
She has fought really good people though.
They are like they're all amazing.
Like she's fought all the basically the top like few in the division,
like way better than Dern people. So I look at her as an underdog in this fight.
She fought Jen Young.
We watch her get knocked out by Yang, which is a great performance. Yang Jinan.
But Dern fought Yang Jinan okay, and that was the infamous Mackenzie Dern, Mark Zuckerberg
that
fight
night
card.
That's right.
Which we hope Zuck gets recovers.
Torn ACL training.
Sparring. But that being said, I know Dern's gotten better on her feet.
Yes,
and I will say she was like really beating up Angela Hill on the feet, which seeing Angela Hill in her last fight, that is impressive. So maybe she. Only thing
ground game is better, Tatiana or Dern? That's a good question. I think Dern probably.
Dern I think if she gets Andrade on the ground, it's over.
I think she can. I mean,
like right away. I think Andrade is at that point where, and you are right, she has fought these top 3. Erin, she fought Yang Jinan, Tatiana.
I just think once she's been on this, like she had some losses in her earlier career too, but I just feel like once you lose, it gets just kind of easy. I don't know. I don't want to speak for like fighters, but I just feel like there's the acceptance of losing becomes more, I guess, acceptable. I don't know. Other words, basically,
that's what I kind of look at it from the perspective of if Dern gets her to the ground. I think it's just, and let's say she gets her back. I don't know how much Andrade is going to be like really trying to fight the hands as much, like, and she kind of gets it like here. And Andrade's just like, all right, it's over.
It sucks that part of the breakdown is like, is Andrade going to show up wanting to fight?
Well,
I don't mean to like put that on her, but her performance in the last fight, like,
and
her last few fights,
she fought. She fought 5 times in 2020. I think she's just paying off her divorce.
Yeah.
Crazy. They both are. Dern literally says like her ex is like getting part of this paycheck.
Yeah.
She said, I think she said all of this fight is going to her husband.
That sucks if that's true.
I noticed. Go off, King.
No.
Imagine him sitting on the couch
just watching this fight.
Like, a grown woman is really getting into a fist fight just to pay me.
Yeah,
it's tough.
That's tough.
W. Dern husband.
Imagine just getting he's fighting on a pay-per-view card in Madison Square Garden.
Paid, yeah.
To just give him the money.
I mean, low key,
that's from her mouth. Like that's
one of the biggest names on this card.
She is.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
She's one of the biggest women names in MMA for sure.
Then we get into
you kind of forget how long she's been around.
She's been around for a while. Like she came to the UFC in 2018?
She's developed a full accent.
Yeah. Then we've got the title fights for the interim heavyweight title. Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich. We've kind of talked about this fight. You especially have, Ev, like in weeks leading up to it. And I feel like you've very much like convinced my brain of your take.
Me too.
This to me.
My brain is big Ev's brain.
Yes.
Right
this is it's so hard to say. I want to make this like one of my bigger plays like ever. But Sergey Pavlovich standing across is so hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's what I said. I said it to them and to Smith and Wyman. They agreed with me. And I said it too on the show before that. Like whoever wins, it's gonna feel easy. Because I feel like the winner is gonna win in like the first round.
That's what I mean.
Like, I think it's gonna be one of those like they're just gonna like meet in the middle. And I think he's gonna like punch. Aspinall's gonna take him down, and I think just maul him on the mat. That's what
you've convinced me of.
That's what I think's gonna happen. That's my take on the fight.
But if it doesn't happen, he's gonna.
I'm gonna get. That's the thing. Like if he loses, it's because he gets clipped by a monster Russian who's a very good boxer and hits hard as fuck.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like
Blaze got knocked out in the second
round, but he didn't like try to grapple really. That's what I thought was his biggest mistake. And I think Aspinall is better. Like I think the world of Aspinall. I've made that pretty clear.
Yeah.
I think he's like he's gonna be like the next.
Said in our interview today, he might be the best heavyweight in the world.
His skill set is just so exceptional.
I think Anthony Smith said it too, right?
I said I think he's like a just a really more athletic version of Cain Velasquez.
Yeah.
Like way more athletic.
And Cain in his prime was pretty fucking
he was
athletic.
He was known for being like the well-rounded heavyweight.
Yes.
The first like well-rounded heavyweight. I just think he moves like Cyril Gane, but then he's like an ace jiu-jitsu and can grapple and wrestle. Like I think he's like he's incredible.
I also think the place would go nuts for an Aspinall win.
He hits hard as fuck too.
Yeah.
We've seen like when he hit Tybura with one shot, Tybura was like, it's over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smash Tybura. I mean, and Tybura is not fucking Pavlovich, but he's fought like a lot of guys. His chin is held up decently.
No,
Sergey is the boogeyman though.
That's all it is. That's what's keeping me back from making it like the biggest bet I've made out of MMA. I'm gonna bet a lot of Aspinall for sure, but I'm gonna bet him a lot of Aspinall. I'm gonna bet some round one as well.
Wasn't there like I know they talked about Overeem, but wasn't there somebody else who
why I think I forget it was Anthony Smith. I think it was said it perfectly. Like all these last few fights with Pavlovich have been like catered to his style.
Yeah, the
Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa. The only one that wasn't was Blades, and I think Blades didn't go in with the right game. In my opinion, he didn't have the right game plan.
Blades didn't fight like Blades. Like
he got too comfortable. He made it the fight that Pavlovich would want it to be.
Yes, exactly.
He didn't try to grapple really at all. He didn't.
He just.
I don't remember if he even ever shot. I don't know if he ever shot.
No, I don't think he did.
So I remember betting. I remember betting Blades his dog and being like, if he shoots, like he's gonna win.
Aspinall has 100% takedown defense and offense in the UFC. That's an impressive stat.
He's a beast. And I referenced like what he did to Volkov. I thought was so. That to me was when I really opened my eyes. I was like, oh my god, this guy's incredible. Yeah, like Volkov, no one's done that to Volkov. Just take and just his timing on the takedowns is so on point. Yep. He's a lifelong mixed martial artist. His whole life been just the whole sport of MMA. He's not like a boxer turn this. He's not like a And even Tyson Fury says he boxes well with like heavyweight legit pro boxers. Yeah. He's so fast.
I would love to see.
I'm just like fellatioing Tom. Yeah. But I just think he's fucking awesome. And I think if he does what he should do, and I think he's a smart guy, I think he runs through Sergey Pavlovich.
I'll always be in Tom Aspinall's corner since meeting him in London. He like called me over. I felt like a little kid. He was like, yo. And I was like, me? And he's like, yeah. He's like, Sweet Beatles tattoo. He's like, Liverpool. I was like, yeah. So I'll always be in his corner.
Tommy Aspinall.
Great
awesome
theme.
Champ.
Obviously, he's got a song that people sing for him. Got a great like story. His dad being the first black belt over there and everything. Like cool shit. So we're in Aspinall's corner for that. And then the main event, Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka for the vacant light heavyweight championship. Yuri coming off what was allegedly the worst shoulder injury UFC doctors have ever seen in their lives. Hopefully to put on a great fight against Pereira. I think this is going to be chaos, violence. This could be a 5-round, like Yuri Glover type back and forth slugfest. Not in terms of this same style, but just a crazy back and forth fight. Or I think it could be kind of like the fight you're describing the co-main event to be. I think somebody could get clipped and knocked out in the first round here.
Someone definitely could. I think this fight will go longer than that.
I think it will too.
I think they'll be more like patient with each other.
Yes.
Like they both know they're both hittable and they both hit really hard. Yeah.
They both get a little crazy when they get hit.
To me, like Yuri just like strikes with his hands like he's crazy.
Yeah. He's insane.
His hands are like down here.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for Pereira to just be like,
yes.
Pink.
There was somebody
I'm leaning Pereira right now.
I like Pereira too, but if Yuri grapples, he can win that way. Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, but I think Poaton's gonna find. I think he's gonna find the shot.
what Yuri does, there's multiple little things that he does. He kind of like will grab your wrists or try to go and grab your wrists while in the midst of a stand-up. Somebody pointed out on Twitter, wish I could give credit, I forget who, and it was almost a slow-mo of it. And it was just looking at the slow-mo, he goes in, and it's almost like he's also going for, I think, a knee to the body. But if you miss, his chin's just right out there. And Poton, like, if you're in the middle of the cage, look what happened to Sean Strickland. And he just, I know they're different fighters, whatnot, but there was even times when I was concerned for Yuri in just other instances of heading into fights. Even the one, did he fight Rakic?
Who?
Yuri?
No.
Dominic Reyes?
He literally he fought Vulcan, Reyes, and then Belt.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's only fought 3 times in the UFC.
Crazy. Yeah.
I didn't even realize
He's got
that.
3
These are
fights
2
to
guys that,
but he came in. He was like the risen champ. He was like he beat Nemkov.
Oh, he beat Nemkov.
Of like the Bellator champ in Risen.
When they did the Bellator.
He's beaten like a few UFC vets. Nemkov would be his biggest like name outside the UFC. I mean, that's why like Vulcan was like 7. He made his UFC debut against like number 7. Yeah. And then Reyes, I think at the time was maybe number like 4 or something like that. And viciously knocked out both of them. The way
he did that to Dominic was just crazy. And I know Dominic it just hasn't been right since the John, but still.
The way he hit, his head hit too.
Dude, that elbow, he was, I mean, and Reyes was tough as hell in that fight.
Yeah, he was.
It took a ton of damage before that.
Yeah.
And I'll even give Yuri some credit. Like Reyes hit him with some hard lefts. And he's a southpaw. Hit him with some hard straight lefts. And Yuri, his chin held up well, but I mean, Glover had him hurt a bunch of times.
A lot.
Had him rocked quite a bit.
Who do you think the crowd is going to be behind in this?
I think Poatan.
I think so too.
I think he's kind of won the American fan.
I think he has too.
Because he poses this, he's like this scary, it's kind of almost like Anthony Smith on Ariel was kind of saying like it's not an act, but like
it's like an aura.
He puts on the tough guy thing.
Yeah.
Because he just doesn't show like a lot of emotion. He locks in. But I mean, I think Poatan's one. Like he's like this just scary.
His entrance,
the
like
walkout.
Yeah.
I mean, we see he's like he knocked out Izzy, who was like beloved. Who was seen, wow, this guy's an animal.
Yeah.
And then now moves up, like the way he knocked out Strickland. He moves up. He beats Jan in his first fight. He looks really good. I think Poatan gets the love.
I think him too. Love. Also, he's fought at MSG before, so he's like familiar to that audience.
His signature moment at MSG.
Yeah, and then he went on ate some Bravo pizza.
Yeah, shout out, bro. He's still, it's right out there. The sign's right there. I will say, I think Potan's low key one of the bigger guys on MMA Twitter. I know that doesn't translate.
He kind of is, yeah.
People are just like adore him
because he's played into the Stonehenge thing too.
Yeah,
and he's that emoji all the time. He got him for his house. Like he's got 2 Stonehenges at the front of his door.
He
bought Glover the motorcycle. Yeah. People love that.
That's a great video. Yeah.
So
him
and Glover's
scaring his kids and shit, like
scaring the kids. He pranked DC with the golf club this week. Did you see that? Like making the noise behind him.
Even when him and Izzy saw each other in the airport,
that was funny.
Was like pretty funny. Izzy just like this, and he's just like,
yeah. I think he has won people. Yeah.
You know, I think he'll have the crowd.
He's kind of like become like the boogie. He's like a boogeyman a little bit.
Yeah.
He's the boogeyman that has like a
likable.
Yeah, like a little bit of like a sense of humor in it too.
But it's like, but I think it's funny that he doesn't find anything funny.
Yes,
he's just like he's just a stone cold killer, and I think Americans, just fight fans in general, I think kind of are drawn to people like that.
And then he pranks Glover.
That are just like you see like he has a heart,
like
but then you also see he's like this, like
yeah.
His bow
and then he actually murders people with his hands.
Yeah. What do you think about this one?
I think Potan's gonna catch him at one point.
You think early or?
Yeah, round 1 or round 2.
I think it's gonna be later.
Okay.
I think like rounds like 3 or 4. I think it's gonna go deeper.
I feel like it's gonna be like a second round, third round thing too.
That being said, I know I was saying a little bit earlier, but we have seen Pereira in his fights. He's very obviously, Ev is 100% correct. He's known as a killer, but he also he's very well, like, he's calm in there. He goes for the shots that he wants to go for. Obviously, he knocked Izzy out in the 5th round thanks to 4 rounds of very smart just kickboxing, whatnot. It will be interesting to see how much he can get the leg kicks involved. Obviously, that could be huge. And if you could really take down Yuri's movement throughout the fight, that would go more to Ev's point of view. I almost am scared with how much I like Poatan.
Me too. I feel similarly. But
And I know at 205, we've only seen him against Jan. That was a good win. It was close. I don't want to judge his cardio based off of elevation. That's very tough.
And his first fight in the division, that could have played a factor or something.
I do think the leg kicks, from the perspective of if he can get them going, and Yuri doesn't have the best game plan for them, because they're almost impossible to game plan for, because they just get flicked out there.
Even at 5%, as we saw this week.
But
Adesanya said it, and when he knocked him out, he was like, if that fight went for he said he was compromised second round.
Yeah,
he was severely compromised already.
I
And knew it was coming.
Yeah,
Was from the
was
still
prepared for it. Yeah.
I mean, he said and anything he says, I'll believe it. Like his striking acumen, the way he just flicks it out, it's like you can't, because he doesn't cock it.
Yeah,
Like you can't. He doesn't telegraph it. He just like boop. It's like it's almost like a jab. He was like a jab on this
video of him doing it to DC this week.
Exactly, it's crazy.
And DC just like his face. The second it hits DC's face instantly changes to a point of like, oh wait, well no, that's too far.
He goes, okay.
The 25% almost crippled him.
Yeah,
the 20. I couldn't believe when he asked for the 25, and I love the way he was asking for it through the translator. He was 25, but no more. Not 26, 25. That's it.
I wonder how good Poton's English really is. Like, if you get him, obviously,
So
I don't
it's like
blame
he
him.
doesn't want to talk to the media.
Yeah, because you're not like, I don't blame him for that.
It's part of the aura.
Yeah, it is. No, it
It's
really
like
is.
part.
At this
It's
point.
part of the aura of like the boogeyman.
But that being said, Danbury, Connecticut is kind of seen as like little Brazil a little bit.
Yeah.
So he may not even, he may just speak Brazilian Portuguese throughout his.
He does. So
Probably
actually,
does in the gym.
actually,
Yeah.
If you guys watched Embedded at all this week,
No.
Embedded, I think it was 1 or 2. Maybe it was 2. He brought like his girlfriend and like his 2 sons to the mall. To go shopping.
Oh, Danbury Mall.
No, yes, and it was so funny because he was saying to sound cool, like sound good. When people talk to him, he would like respond in English, like I think he was saying even to like his manager or whatever, like whatever. And he was like his kids will do like the opposite.
They speak.
Like they will just like purposely, they just like will
Portuguese,
always
if they-
speak Portuguese, even though like they do speak English. He was saying, he was like, yeah, like they like they don't want to like show it off or whatever.
Huh.
He said he doesn't know that one, so he tries to like when he can, he tries to like show it
Flex
off, like
on
look at me, like I'm speaking English, kind of thing. Like he's like, "Hello, how are you?" Like it was so funny the way he said it.
That's
He was
great.
like, "My kids, like they just won't. They'll just answer in Portuguese."
Pavlovich's hardest word to say in English is hello.
I saw that. Yeah.
The other ones were very like Diego Lopez was Massachusetts, which is
That's a hard one,
a hard
yeah.
word. And then there was one.
She did one of these before for the Spanish Independence Day card.
Yeah.
And that was a funny video. I forget who it was, but I think it was Raul Rosas Jr. She said, "What's the hardest word for you to say?" And he said, "Shenanigans." And she was like, "Well, you won't be saying that word very often. You don't live in the 1970s."
Oh, that's right. It was. Yeah, he said it was
Squirrel.
He said
Yeah.
Squirrel.
And then she asked someone else, and she goes, "What's the hardest word for you to say in English?" And he goes, "Penis." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Penis." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, like nuts. She's like, "Peanuts?" And he's like, "Yeah, penis."
Oh, that's funny.
It was really funny.
I guess he's right. He's
Yeah.
saying it right.
Botan said squirrel. That's so funny. He said
He
squirrel.
goes squirrel.
That's great. That's great. All right, that was the card. That was UFC 295 going down this weekend. Hopefully they do something special with the whole 30th anniversary thing, like some kind of special video package at the beginning or more legends in the crowd. That would be cool to make it more of a, this is the 30th anniversary. Maybe a new mat. They did a new mat for the 25th card. They did it for UFC 200.
Yeah.
We'll see
And
how
it
maybe a
could
drone
be-
show inside MSG.
Drone show. All right.
They did that in Abu Dhabi.
Wasn't it outside?
No, inside. It
Oh.
was fucking crazy. Like inside the arena, we saw the drones.
Okay. So that would be sick. Yeah, I'll be there. You'll be there.
Yeah.
Ev is traveling.
Yeah, I'm jealous, boys.
Unfortunately,
I wish I
yeah.
could be there. It's
If you're going to be at MSG this weekend, see us. Say what's up.
Yep. I'll be. Actually, I'm not going to tell you my section, even though we have hundreds of thousands of people listening. I'm sure I'd be bombarded. But
yeah.
I'm right next to the cage.
I'll be with my computer in the little media section. So look for these stickers. Look for that sticker and the van sticker.
It should be. I'm excited. I like the MSG cards are always just
Always a good
electric.
vibe.
Yeah, good vibe in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's world's most famous arena.
All right. Thank you. Obviously, like the stream, and now go check out our interview with Chris Weidman and Anthony Smith. Come back to the channel tomorrow for our interview with the steamroller Matt Frivola. $2.95 content.